Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tingling Tea. Here at the Tingling Tea, we talk about the strange and the supernatural, the weird and the wonderful, the creepy and the cryptid, and everything that is phenomenally freaky. I can't go any further without bringing in my hostess of the mostest, the other female on my side, my girl in running, my beautiful, beautiful Annabelle, who is sporting a new haircut. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring in Annabelle.
Hey everyone, it's me, Lindsay Lohan.
I say, girl, you got that working.
Actually, I think it's more of a Shania Twain haircut the more I look at it.
You think it is? I love it.
Thank you.
I just can't wait till you go pink. I want to see more pink in it or purple.
I think we're going lilac next.
Ooh, I can't wait to see this. So let's bring in our other co-host, who I could say is one of my dearest friends for a very long time. My illustrious partner in crime who has gone through a lot of stuff. We've gone through a lot of stuff with each other. Can I bring in the other hostess of the most, or host of the most, Mr. Augie Ominous Eddie Peterson?
We've gone through a lot of stuff, haven't we?
Yes, we have. Let's take a drink on that.
We need a drink.
I'll take a tea sip to that.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I know that's not tea, but okay. I hear you.
And without further ado, back with us again to come in and give his pithy commentary and also to make us laugh. My soon-to-be trainer, he's been after me about it. And also my co-host partner on This Week in Pop Culture, which comes out on Saturday night under Evolution Comics. The wonderful, the fabulous Mr. Mayhem, Mike Alexander, come on in.
Woo-hoo.
It's the Snyder Cut for me.
Oh, no. There is no Snyder Cut going on here.
Welcome to the Tingling Tea. Tonight we're doing the Snyder
Cut. Yes, we're doing the Snyder Cut.
A modern podcast experience.
Can someone explain who this person is to me, please? Who is Snyder? And why does he care? Why does he even matter? What is going on with him?
I told you. He is a quote unquote visionary for DC. Everyone feels like his vision is what Justice League and everybody was supposed to be, but because when he was filming it, he had something happened with his family. Something happened.
He had a death in his family.
Yes, There you go. So he had to step back. So then we got this crappy Justice League movie, and then they're like, "Hey, but if you watch the Snyder,
incidentally done by Josh Whedon."
It was still crappy. And then they're like, if you watch the Snyder Cut, everything will make sense and DC will live. And ever since then, people have been like clamoring for it. This comes out on the 18th, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But that's soon.
We've been waiting for DC to live for a long time. I don't know if we could speak life into those dry bones.
I have a business plan.
Lying tonight.
I have a business plan for them.
Let's hear this.
You ready for this?
And let's see if we can stream this up to Jason Kyler.
I'm thinking that they do a new take on the Joker.
Okay.
That is actually happening.
Isn't that been done like a million times?
Yeah, but that's the only thing that makes them money. So.
Oh my God.
Jason, come here. Jason, I need you. Come here. What you need to do.
Let's pull you up for this solo layout. Go ahead, tell Jason what he needs to hear.
Jason, what you're doing is not working. Fire the trash man, fire everybody, and start new. Okay? Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna make a totally new universe, right? And every time you have a movie, you're gonna say what universe is it, because you don't believe in continuity. You don't believe in being engaged to one universe. That's fine, Jason. I got you. Hire me. Cut my check, and I got you. Leslie and I will manage your universe. We got you. Augie, you want in on this as well?
Sure. I'll go ahead.
Augie's the Flash. Okay,
Definitely.
Annabelle. And check this out. I'll cast
only if
you.
Only if I can be a very revealing unitard.
Oh,
that's my only contractual obligation.
Oh, we're dead.
I think everybody will want to see that movie.
Yeah, that'll definitely be a Snyder Cut. Anyway, what were you going to say, Annabelle?
Oh well, I was just gonna say I can cast a new Joker for every single universe.
There you go.
See, that's what we're talking about. That
Yeah.
kind of innovation, that kind of vision. We need that. We need that.
That kind of
So-
innovation, that uniqueness, that let's go a new direction. Let's make a new Joker movie.
Yes,
I
I agree with
propose
you
that-
totally.
I propose that the new Joker is a female and in the form of Kathy Bates.
Interesting.
I was
know-
gonna cast Meryl Streep, but that works too.
You know what? I'm just gonna say no, thank you for now, but we will get back to both of you.
So let's move on. Let's move on. I mean, we could stay here in this moment for a long time. I want to wish my dad a happy birthday. Today
Oh,
is my
wow.
dad's birthday. He is 77 years old. There my dad is. Happy birthday, David
Happy
Fry.
Happy birthday, Mr.
birthday.
Fry.
Happy
Yes.
birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy
Sev-
birthday.
70 where? That man don't look 70.
Yeah, he is. He keeps himself very healthy. My dad's a pharmacist, so he's always thinking. My dad is one of the smartest people I know.
Okay.
He's like a closet genius.
Wow.
Don't tell him that, but he is.
Amazing.
Anyway.
People don't know
Yeah.
that she only knows 3 people, but that's all right.
You're all my friends. Anyway, so happy birthday, Dad. Love you. Okay, and I'm just going to get into a little bit of news too.
Yes.
Yeah, just a little bit. So, if you are a subscriber of Shudder is doing a halfway to Halloween month, the whole month of April.
Ooh.
So, I would really advise that you
What?
all, yes, halfway to Halloween. So, it's a month of all the horror movies that Shudder is going to put on, and some of them is new content, some of it is old content. But I really would recommend you do this. And they also have like a little trivia horror night, also, which they get half a year of Shudder free.
Is that tonight?
I believe that this starts. Maybe it is tonight. It might start in April though.
What?
We gotta go. Goodbye. Show's
Yeah.
Bye,
over.
everyone.
Bye. See ya.
everyone.
Bye.
So I have something to admit. I think I'm actually a Shudder subscriber
Oh.
I
You
think it's very well worth it. Some of the
Because-
content in there's
they had something I wanted to watch once, and I think I did the trial, and they got me by me forgetting to undo the trial. So I think I'm an early adopter of Shudder, if I'm
Right.
not mistaken.
So
I've always liked Shudder. I've always liked it. I liked how it looks. I like the feel of it. I like the fact that there's old school, new school horror in there and somewhere in between. It's really a good subscription to have if you like horror content, because it's kind of hard sometimes to find certain things that you want to watch.
Shudder's actually been really good at in generating interest in horror. So Shudder, if you see this, sponsor us. But also, Annabelle, girl, what's up? Like, can I get your login information? I'll give you like $5. You know what I'm saying?
You trying to get my Amazon Prime account?
whatever.
I saw news today that Netflix is trying to clamp down on password sharing. Finally,
Oh.
I don't think they
They're-
should.
I think I should be worried now.
You should
So-
be worried. Yeah. Well,
I don't know. I
yeah,
stopped giving
a
my
lot of us
password
do.
after my brother kept getting it flagged because he lived out of country, and they're like, "Oh, someone's in your account," and then they'd flag it and make me change my password.
Oh man.
Yay.
And that's why I don't
Yeah.
share my passwords anymore.
Aw.
Okay, well, I
Good
think
story.
that's a good habit to adopt, is not sharing your passwords. But the thing is, too, a lot of us do that when we have family members that we know like specific thing. I mean, I think it's a bad idea for them to do it, because I think they would lose subscribers if they decide to do something like that. I mean, they've already raised the fees on Netflix right now, so I mean, what more damage can they do to a captive audience who is literally looking at your content right now? But anyway, I digress.
Make you subscribe to Paramount Plus.
Ooh.
That's
Oh,
right.
that's
Paramount
too.
Plus.
Paramount Plus.
I don't know if
Alright.
I do that.
I was already a
I don't know.
subscriber. I've been a subscriber to CBS All Access since like 2014 or whenever they launched it, because it has every season of Survivor.
Oh Lord.
Really? You watched every season of Survivor on repeat? Don't you know the ending?
Well, here's the thing: is I can watch the new episodes the day after in high quality without commercials. Same with when Big Brother's on. You can watch the video cameras and spy on the house guests 24/7.
Wait,
It's like the episode that never
Are
ends.
you telling us you're a voyeur? Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Do you not watch Big Brother?
I don't. I did like 15 years ago, I guess.
It's like the ultimate horror experience if you think about it. You know, millions of people just watching these people 24/7 in a house.
That's
It's true.
loosely. Just want to let you know, I don't want to blow your bubble here because it is loosely scripted. I just want to let you know.
Oh yeah, it's definitely loosely scripted.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, somebody that was a Billy.
I hope somebody's watching me. I give them a show.
Popular in their day.
Part of reality
Lord.
TV is accepting the chaos and accepting the script and
Oh, yeah.
loving it for what it is.
Well, you definitely know what you're getting yourself into when you look at reality TV. So let's move on. Let's talk about what Annabelle. We're going to do your portion today with your gaming. So you actually did a little bit of gaming on something called Valheim. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Is true. So Valheim is a brand new game. If I'm not mistaken, it's even still in early access, so they haven't officially released it yet. But they dropped it a couple weeks ago, maybe like 4 weeks ago now even, and it has taken the internet by storm. This game is awesome. It is a survival, kind of horror, kind of Norse, a lot of Norse mythology, Scandinavian, like crafting simulator. So this whole thing is that you can go ahead and turn on some gameplay in the background if we want while we're doing this part. Is that this game is like you're just dropped in there as a Viking.
You're stealing my focus, Mike. Come on.
Sorry. I was giving him something to look at. The Snyder Cut.
Snyder Cut.
All right, Annabelle.
Okay, let's look at this.
Ooh.
This is the Snyder Cut.
The Snyder Cut of Valheim. Let's take a look at it. All right, let's go.
So in this game, you're really just building like a house to start, and you're also being attacked at night by trolls and goblins and evil dwarfs. It's it's like a horror adjacent game. I wouldn't say that you're going to go into this game with the scariest thing, but when it gets intense, you're getting attacked, and your homestead is going to get messed up if you are not taking precautions.
I was watching this on Twitch the other day, and I was like, why are people caring about their home so much? And some like making sure that every hole was plugged and there was no openings in their home and that sort of thing. That would make sense.
And this has also scratched an itch for people because it's like kind of an amazing building simulator. Like people have been building these gorgeous towns and structures. I'm playing on a world with a couple friends, and we have a full town with gates, and we've been building things that's like a tavern or like a smithy and like a dock. And it's, not only is it this like fun game with bosses and stuff to fight, but it's really this cooperative world that you're kind of taming as a group of people. It is so fun.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to know. How many people can you play with? Because
up to 10. So you can have up to 10, I think, at a time on the server. You might even be able to have more people playing, but asynchronously.
Okay.
And it's the best. You can play by yourself, but the way to play is with other people.
This sounds fun.
Did you build all of that?
This is not my build. This is a random YouTube video courteous of MT Moon.
Okay.
Thanks, MT Moon, for the gameplay.
But did you build something that big? Like that moat and everything? Can you do all that?
You can do all that. Yeah, that's all user made.
Wow.
And there's bosses that you fight that are really good, and there's sailing, and the game is punishing, and it has random events like dragons might attack your base.
Like dragons?
And
like
you might just have like bad wooden arrows. Yeah, like dragons.
Like, what other kind of dragon is there, Mike?
There's Raya and the Lost Dragons.
There's ice dragons.
Okay. There's dragons that control the water and stuff. And he's right. And of course, I'm right. Excuse me. Forget what everybody said. There's dragons from Raya and the Lost Dragon, and they do water. They don't do fire. Thank you, Augie, for being wrong.
But they're dragons?
The dragon drag. You know what? I'm not going to talk to you anymore. Annabelle, you and I, girl, are friends. We are here, okay? In fact, Les,
Exactly.
can you put Augie down a patch? Can you put him down another patch?
What?
So
I
what?
need to-
So what? Okay. So then you have to fight dragons and trolls, and
Yeah, you got to
Oh,
fight
that's-
everything in like Norse mythology, basically.
Oh.
how about gods
Yeah, I was going to ask that.
like
Uh,
Loki?
I never got there, but you kind of have to fight something. The first boss is a little godlike, so
Oh.
yes. And the game gets harder the more you play it too. It's like I feel like it gets exponentially harder the longer that I was on it. It was not getting easier for me.
Can you set up your friends? Can you set up your friends to die?
Yeah, you can. There's a video I watched where someone accidentally released like a pack of wolves on their partner, and it's
That's
just I don't know. It's
amazing.
one of those
Wait, so
games
are
that you
you-
can play however you want, right? It's like Minecraft.
Are you controlling the mythological creatures?
No,
How-
you're just this person right here existing in this world, and the game gives you a little bit of direction, but for the most part, it just kind of drops you off there, and then it's like, I hope you can build a house and figure out your life.
Oh, wow.
Wow. And
Like,
how
I
long
see-
do your weapons? How long do your weapons last, or do you have to reconstruct your weapons?
You just have to repair them, but they don't like break unusable. They're easy to repair, so it's like a non-issue, I'd say. But the weapons, it's fun to craft them. You have like a lot of variety. It's really hard to use. The game is very much like a skill-based game. It's not a lot of mindless fighting. You got to really aim your bow, and you got to be accurate with it, and you got to account for like when you play a game and you don't have to account for an arrow going down when you shoot it.
Yo, trajectory, yes.
Yeah, trajectory. You actually have to account for your trajectory pretty severely in this game.
And is this game can you do first person view, or is it all top down view?
I think it's mostly third person. I never played in a first person view. And it runs beautifully. I'd really suggest it, especially because it's so early on. They haven't even formally released it yet.
Now,
oh wow.
Annabelle, I have one question. What's so scary? Because you did say it was horror adjacent. What's scary about this game?
So I said horror adjacent because it's not really a horror game, right?
Right.
What you have at night, though, is the monsters come and attack your base, and you can either defend it, but if you're not strong enough, then you just huddle inside your house while the trolls knock on your door. And that was my experience for most of the first nights of the game. Until I could scream for someone to come help me that had better gear, because I was like living in a mud pile.
So they actually knock on the door?
No, they knock your door down. Maybe they come in, they break your house. So
and do they kill you? I mean, are they attacking you?
Yes, they attack you.
Are you encroaching on their territory?
I don't know. That's a question you might want to think about. Whose land are you taking?
Yes.
Oh.
Wow. Well, it looks beautiful from what I could see from this gameplay. I mean, first of all, it looks very dark, and I see that you can't see anything unless you go by the fire pits.
Yeah, you have a torch that you're supposed to use at night to be able to see. Right. And the game is gorgeous. It looks really, really pretty.
Wow.
What I would do. Good. No, I was going to say what I would do is I would encourage all of you to follow me, right, and help me build my base on top of trees. And you guys could be on the ground level, and you guys would deal with the threats. And then you come up to me when you want to be safe. And see, that makes sense.
I had a friend that built a tree house.
Wow. I've learned that I never want to play a game with Mike.
You don't want to play with Annabelle either.
No, but you can build a treehouse. We can be safe.
Oh, I got a strategy for you. You can go in the other direction.
I really like. I mean, goodness.
It's all love.
Where can we find this game, and where is it right now?
You can find this on Steam right now. It's got a price tag of $20. Like I said, they do have a kind of disclaimer that it is an early access game. So there might be bugs and glitches you run across. I didn't run across anything game breaking during my time spent on it, and I probably have a good 5 to 10 hours of game time on this one.
Look at this.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, yep.
Oh my, it's an ogre.
He will kill you very quick.
Oh, but
shoot him.
Gorgeous. Oh my gosh, he's relentless.
Shoot him.
He's run.
Do a barrel roll.
Oh my goodness. And look at him. He's not even giving up. He hasn't even stopped his stride.
Oh, he's never gonna stop.
He's like the state marshmallow man's brother.
Do you
if you don't have the weapons to kill him, then you gotta
run?
You gotta run.
Can you outrun him?
You have a run feature, but you have a stamina too that you gotta watch.
Oh no.
I'm looking at the sky behind him whenever the guy looks up. Look at that beautiful sky.
That beautiful.
Do you see the kind of tree branch that goes over the world up there? That's like there's this like massive tree, and I never found the reason behind it because I didn't. So there's 7 bosses in the game, and you like as you beat them, it kind of gets you to more of the game. And the game is also procedurally generated, so no map is going to be the same. It's
okay.
It's always different.
Wow.
So every new world is going to be a different one.
So this might be something that's in Norse mythology. These creatures that you're facing, the world that's underneath the tree. This must be some type of Norse mythology.
That's what my thoughts. I'm not a big enough pro of Norse mythology to tell you for sure. But you can definitely tell that the people that made this game love that aesthetic and that type of, just artwork, and it's really beautiful. I can't recommend this enough.
This is the famous Norse Smurf god.
Oh Lord!
Oh, the legendary
Papa
Smurf.
That's where it came from.
I think it'd be fun for all of us to play on a world together of this.
Heck yeah!
I think we should do that. I think we should do it.
But don't listen to Mike.
Yeah.
I will rethink my proposition with you guys.
I'll play with Mike.
Okay. Oh, that'll be interesting. Let me watch that.
Great.
But I hope you know.
I don't trust either one of y'all playing a game.
I'll trip you as I run.
This is. Oh my goodness, this is so good. All right. So thank you so much. Let's move on to our next topic. So we know that this is Women's History Month. We've been talking about that all month. And we decided that we were going to do a feature where we were going to feature specifically films or sheroes in film. Oh. And let's talk about that. Let's talk about something that we have. Augie, I'm sure you have something prepared for us.
I sure do. Of course I do. How could I miss a week without preparing some stuff?
Yes. You definitely have to show us what you have. Okay, so let's talk about what you have for us.
Sure. So this is actually sheroes of horror movies of the 70s. So last week we did the 60s. This decade, the 70s, women found their power. There were a lot of women that just became powerful in the 70s and in a very wonderful way represented in the cinema. So this segment is really celebrating those incredible sheroes of horror movies, and maybe another extra one that we'll talk about at the end if we have time. Yes, Michael?
Is Shiro's a name that you guys have copyrighted and patented and just thought of? Because if so, I'm so for it. I've never heard this before.
You never heard of a Shiro?
I've always heard heroine, and then that just like phased out, and everybody's heroes is plural. I've never heard of Shiros.
Wow,
yes, we have copywritten it, and it is it's copywritten to Cliff Dive Productions.
You actually owe us $5 for every time you say it.
Oh my goodness! Put it on Augie's tab.
Sheroes.
All right.
So Augie, so what are you bringing to us the first? Or should we watch the trailer first, or should we watch what it is?
Oh my God. Let's watch the trailer first for the first one, because it's just too perfect.
Okay, let's watch the trailer.
Shiros.
Here we go.
Cut the check.
Here we go.
$5.
Who's that cat's agent? Complaining.
Zack Snyder. He does some crazy stuff.
Oh, okay. Right. Let me get the right trailer. I don't even know how that happened, but go ahead. So tell us a little bit about it.
So we saw from the first one that we saw the word Blackula Now, we talked about Blackula before, where we
Yes.
talked about blaxploitation, but this is actually the sequel to Blackula, which is Scream, Blackula, Scream.
Ooh.
That came out in 1973, starring Miss Pam Grier, who is the kick-ass, if there was a kick-ass woman in the movies in the early 70s, it was Pam Grier.
Okay.
Okay, I got it. I have it loaded. You want to watch it now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's watch this. I don't know why. Maybe I was planning on watching the whole movie.
I'm not sure.
I think I was. Thank you. Shout out to Shout Factory TV for letting us watch this
Changing
footage.
the channel.
Who dares touch these rotting bones? Who dares call forth the most horrible specter of the damned? Now he's back. The Black Prince of Darkness, Blackula, recalled by the awesome powers of voodoo to stalk the earth in a new quest for blood. Blackula, Dracula's soul brother, seething with hate, obsessed with vengeance, craving young bodies, lusting for hot blood to create new victims for the legions of the undead.
And with evil vampires. Good. That gives you something of an edge over the rest.
William Marshall, again, as the Lord of the Vampires, in a relentless search for Pam Grier, the exciting star of Coffee.
I need you!
Now he is back. Ever more evil, ever more fearful than ever before.
The name is Blackula!
Scream, Blackula, scream. The bloodiest legend of our time.
Oh my God, I love that. That's so funny.
I've never seen any of the Blackula movies.
Oh, you're in for
Oh.
a treat. You're in for a treat. First of all, that makeup that they have on people, I don't know if they tried to put a green tint on black folks, but that look, oh, and the hair growing up on the sides.
I like
And
the
then-
hair.
Yeah, and okay, this is my new thing. My name is Blackula. I love that. Ooh, give me more of that. Or I need you.
I need you.
I
That's
need
what
you.
that was my favorite one.
Yes.
I like how it's more like they don't show you everything. It's all in your mind. Like you're making it worse. I miss the 70s kind of directive where it's like, we don't show you everything. We leave everything to your imagination. I think that type of scary is needed back in the new horror world. And I can't wait. Also, can I also get his like cloak? Is that on sale? Because that was kind of pretty, that was kind of bomb.
Yeah,
Check
his
out
clothes-
eBay.
his
I'm sure
clothes
it's
was-
there.
Yeah, his clothes are the bomb in this. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about Pam Grier's character in this.
Sure. Well, Lisa, she plays Lisa Frontier, and she's chosen to lead the voodoo cult of Willis Daniels' late mother. A vengeful Willis brings the doomed vampire prince back to life. Willis soon finds the vampire too powerful to control, and Lisa agrees to perform a spell that will break the curse placed on the prince.
Mm.
And so there's tons of fantastic blaxploitation narratives going on within this entire movie. There's the police. There are the evil white people that black people are that Blackula is taking care of. There is now we have Pam Grier, who is this gorgeous black woman, now empowered and the one in charge. And the one trying to save the day. And she was so wonderful and empowered in this movie that she went on to, of course, have an incredible career. This is one of her earliest movies. Have an incredible career as playing powerful women again and again and again. So,
I can just say, just look at that look right there. That is surely a sister look, like a Black Power sister look.
Oh, it sure is.
And the earrings are fire.
Oh yeah.
Let's just say over the earrings are just.
Look how gorgeous she is. I mean, she's
she
just
was
stunning.
Can I just say that I went to the movie theater to see this, actually the drive-in theater to see this. So I am young enough to say that I was one of the first people to watch Blackula in my day. And it was like a big thing in the 70s to have a Black Dracula. It was just really the coolest thing.
Yeah. And again, we talked about William Daniels, who played Blackula. I'm sorry, William Marshall, who played Blackula. He was a classically trained actor and opera singer. So he has this fantastic vibrato when he speaks, a fantastic voice. I need you. It's just like amazing. It's amazing.
Yes.
And so otherworldly.
Yeah, definitely. I give my hats off to him because, the one thing that I did learn from you, which I didn't know the last time we spoke about Blackula, is that William Marshall is a Cherokee and African American descent.
That's right.
Yeah, so he has that look about him. So let's go forward. What's our next thing? Do you want to talk about it, or are we going to see the trailer first?
Well, this one, I think most of the people in our audience are going to know, but let's start with the trailer first because it's so amazing and classic. If people have usually seen the movie, but they haven't seen the trailer, and it's just such a fun trailer.
Okay, so let's look at that.
Now, we don't want the whole movie. We want just the trailer.
No, let her do her thing. I want to see the movie.
Yeah, I kind of want to watch the movie.
All right, here we go.
It's gonna be a fun trip.
Oof. Wow. Now that's a powerful trailer.
I think I know what movie that is.
I'll give you one guess.
I mean, we don't. I
The
tell you.
Kansas Chainsaw Massacre.
So close.
It's like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, bro, like really boring.
They're really known for their Texas Chainsaw Massacres.
Kansas. Definitely Kansas is known for it.
Well,
Let me tell you, I
Yeah.
also was around when this movie first came out, and it was horrific seeing this
Oh, yeah.
movie. I've never seen anything this graphic in my whole entire life. I know that this was based on a true story, something similar to this, or they used it as a basis for this, but
That's right.
unbelievably scary.
That's right. And this is also inspired by Ed Gaines as well. The suit where you're wearing a leather skin. That's also Ed Gaines. What were you saying, Mike?
No, I was gonna say I remember watching this years later, back when Blockbuster was still around, And I think my parents actually forgot that it was there. And like, I watched this and I was scared out of my mind, not because it was scary. I mean, it was scary to me, but it was a lot of gore. Like every time I see that hook scene, we play Dead by Daylight, and I'm okay with that. But I see that on actual cinema on TV, and I'm like, my back arches a little bit because just being hooked on a hook, like, this was amazing. This is what kind of like pushed me further into like horror films and whatnot. And then I even loved, I know we're not talking about it now, but like the remastering of it, the remake of it of 2003, I think it was. And I felt like it stayed true to this particular film, because it was scary and it was gory, but just the right amount of gore. You know, it wasn't just like, oh, blood everywhere. Get the corn syrup here and here, you know?
That's right. It's so interesting to think that this particular movie actually doesn't have a lot of blood in it. There's actually not a lot of blood spurting places, but it gives you such a horrible feeling and it makes you so nauseated that it feels like you're surrounded by gore.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
I have to say too that when I saw this movie, I remember the running scene and her hair kept getting tangled in the bushes, and I decided at that point that I will never have long hair.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Is that how we ended up with your current hair?
That is one of the reasons why my hair is short today.
Wow, that is the impact of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Ladies.
Oh, I am so screwed.
Yeah, you're very screwed.
You and I both.
You can have all that lovely hair if you want to.
That's why we got to work together, Mike.
Here's first thing we're gonna do: tuck our hair into our shirts. Boom.
That's
Let
right.
me just say,
you put it in your mouth, and it's not gonna get tangled.
Let me just say that a lot of women, especially in the summertime, pull their hair back in ponytails. But if there is a predator behind you, the first thing that he's going to grab is your ponytail, and he's going to yank your head back, and you are defenseless because you have no means to defend yourself when your head is back like that. This is like a practical weapon 101. So women, when you are walking on the streets anywhere, make sure you tuck your hair in. Do not leave your ponytail out.
Wow.
I leave it out so they can enjoy those beautiful walks.
Well, yeah, they'll enjoy it all
Wait
right.
for the predator. So don't move on quite yet.
Okay, let's go back. Let's go.
So
Go ahead,
I just have to tell you, that was my meme for surviving 2020. That's what I looked like after I survived 2020. Actually, so
is 2021 like you showing up to the remastered set or something?
So far, 2021 is kind of like it's not quite ending like this. So that I'm hoping that I will have a better year. At any rate, I have some other trivia for this.
Yes,
kind of interesting things. So we have Marilyn Burns, who of course plays the lead in this. Was character, as you just talked about, SistaSlaya, was chased by Leatherface through the undergrowth. Actually, she cut herself. The actress cut herself on branches quite badly. So a lot of the blood on her body and clothes is real.
Oh.
From those cuts. Also,
that's commitment.
Yeah, that definitely is commitment.
So and she actually hurt herself shooting when she did one of her falls. Like a stunt double does a big fall, and then they cut to her at like the last second, and she hurt herself in the last second doing that. So she was actually had a hurt ankle during the filming of this. Interesting story. The Gunnar Hansen, who plays the Leatherface in this, originally turned down the role because of the sheer brutality of the plot. He then was persuaded to take the role by Marilyn Burns, the woman who plays the final girl.
Really?
Yeah, they were friends at the time, and she convinced Gunnar Hansen to take the role.
That's a good piece of trivia.
I think that it would be I would rather be chased by a friend than be chased by some random person.
That'd make that scene like scary, or not. Instead of scary, it'd be fun.
Yeah. Well,
now,
at least she was going through it with him, you know.
I agree. And and now it was filmed in the dead heat of Texas. And so Gunnar Hansen only had one shirt. They didn't have budget for costumes. So by the end of the shoot, nobody was going near Gunnar Hansen because he stunk too much. So kind of some other kind of interesting things. Toby Hooper claims to have gotten the idea while for the film while standing in a hardware section of a crowded store while at Christmas shopping. While thinking of a way to get out of the crowd, he spotted the chainsaws.
Wow.
I thought that was interesting.
I'm sure let's go back to the fact that he smelled while he was doing this. I'm sure that prosthetic really was a terrible smell. You know?
And can you imagine 120 degree heat? And the one that plays the grandfather, the actor that played the grandfather, also had the same problem because the prosthetics took so long to apply that they tried to get it all done and get all of his shots done quickly, but his prosthetics were just disgusting.
So that helped the scene kind of translate really well onto the scene, because like here it is, some of those places, some of the rooms, if I'm not mistaken, was like rotten flesh and all this other stuff, and you got actors who actually smell. So like inadvertently, some of the actors who are coming into the house are like, it really does smell, but not because of the props. It's because of you.
Right.
Wow. That's right. And guess who did the original opening voiceover for this movie?
Who?
John Larroquette. John Larroquette of Night Court fame.
Night Court, John Larroquette. Oh so my gosh, I loved him.
And you know how he was paid? He got one joint.
Just one?
Now, see, that's the beauty of the 70s. Joint. That is the beauty of the 70s.
I mean, I would do it for a joint.
5.
I do it for half a joint.
Right now, it's gone up now. 5 joints for voiceover.
Give me a joint and some credits. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, exactly.
This film also has the only instance where a victim actually startles the villain. So it happens in the scene where Sally runs down the stairs and screams at Leatherface when he saw his way inside. After he saw his way inside, she startles Leatherface.
Wow.
Yeah, I do remember that. That was, it was awesome.
Yeah. Awesome. Guillermo del Toro, the famous director, Guillermo del Toro, became a vegetarian after seeing this movie.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Yeah, it definitely has an impact on people. Me not wanting to have long hair, none of the, I mean, honestly, it has that much of an influence on people, just visually influence.
And this final little tidbit harkens to a later topic. This character inspired Ridley Scott to make Alien.
I'm here for it.
Some people have even called Alien Texas Chainsaw Massacre in space.
Oh, wow.
Interesting,
it's definitely an impactful movie. Definitely. Okay, let's go on to our next person. Or do you want to look at a trailer?
Oh, yeah. I love a trailer.
Okay, let's look at the trailer.
Movie.
Lord.
This one everyone will know and everyone will love. I have no doubt. It's a classic. It is. You'll have immediate recognition of this.
And titles.
Oh yeah. Oh, and titles too.
At this night, inhumanly patient, waiting for some secret silent alarm. Michael? He's on his way. You've got to believe me, officer. He is coming to Haddonfield.
I saw the boogeyman.
Well, I'm here tonight. I'm not about to let anything happen to you. What's the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was. I met him 15 years ago. I was told there was nothing left. No reason, no conscience, no understanding, life or death.
Can I get your ghost, Bob?
Get upstairs. Upstairs, get ready to climb the floor. Do as I say. Hurry!
This has not been my night.
You know, it's Halloween.
I guess everyone's entitled to one good scare.
I love that movie.
Halloween. It's one of
Yes.
my all-time favorites as well.
She owns the title of Scream Queen. She owns it.
She does. She does. And by the way, the highest grossing independent movie before this came out was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And this took the spot from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre when it came out. So from a budget of $300,000, it went on to gross $47 million in just the US box office.
Wow.
Which is, you can think of it as $150 million today.
Wow.
So,
I definitely recall going to see this at the movie theater with my cousin Scott. And the way that John Carpenter captured a small Illinois community like Haddonfield, because I was in a small community. I grew up in a small, part of my life was in a small town in Alton. It was so realistic to me. This movie terrified me.
I absolutely agree with that. This was one of the first movies that I absolutely think of. I'm seeing my neighborhood. This is my neighborhood where this guy is walking, right? That's immediately what I think of when I go through this. Now, John Carpenter considered hiring Jamie Lee Curtis as the ultimate tribute to Alfred Hitchcock, who had given his mother, Janet Leigh, legendary status in Psycho. So this was, he was thinking of Jamie Lee as a tribute to that particular thing, which I thought was so amazing.
So well.
Yeah. Let's see. I have a bunch of other things that I could talk about this. So the story is based on an experience John Carpenter had in college, touring a psychiatric hospital.
Really?
Yeah. He met a child who stared at him with the look of evil, and he said it terrified him.
Oh.
So that was the inspiration for this particular movie. An interesting fact: all the actors wore their own clothes since there was no money for a costume department. So Jamie Lee Curtis went to JCPenney for Laurie Strode's wardrobe, and she spent less than $100 for the entire set.
She made some good picks.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And she actually was filming the sitcom Petticoat Junction, or I'm sorry, Operation Petticoat, when this was going on. So she was on hiatus from Operation Petticoat, and she filmed this movie in between. And do you know how much money she made?
$100.
It was more than $100. It was more than weed.
How much did she make on this movie that has given her money hand over foot now?
$8,000.
Oh, that's a lot back in the day.
She made $8,000 to star in this movie.
That's a lot back in the 70s. $8,000 for a movie? That was a lot.
That's right. Jamie Lee Curtis, of course, has gone on to star in six different decades, from the 70s to the 2020s. And this film, Halloween H2O, Halloween Resurrection, Halloween again, and Halloween Kills, which just came out in 2021.
Yes.
So, and by the way, the character of Laurie Strode was actually named after John Carpenter's first girlfriend, which is kind of interesting. And remember, this takes place in Haddonfield, Illinois. Right. Well, the town of Haddonfield was named after the screenwriter Deborah Hill's town where she grew up in Haddonfield, New Jersey.
Wow.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Isn't that interesting?
They're very interesting.
Yeah. So yes, we could not let a 70s, Shiro go by without talking about the ultimate scream queen of the time.
All right. And let's go on to our last one.
Our last one is just eked it in 1979. She just made our list in 1979.
Just barely.
So let's just look at the.
I think I know that date. I think I know this one without any other info.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
I gave you a hint earlier.
I missed it.
Don't look at the title.
Too late. I saw it. My
Damn.
eyes.
Damn.
My eyes.
Shh.
I love that tagline. It's so good. In space, no one can
No one
hear
can
you
hear you
scream.
scream.
Oh my
Such
God.
an amazing movie. Such an amazing movie. Can I just say, too, I want to shout out to Tez 007. That is a fan who did an HD remaster of that trailer.
Really? That looks
Yes.
great.
It looked
Yes.
great.
It
Yeah.
looked great. Yes. Amazing. That shows you how much of a fan that person is. So let's go ahead and talk about Alien.
Of course, and of course, we can't talk about Alien without talking about Sigourney Weaver,
Yes,
Yes.
who
Queen.
is the queen, right?
One of the
And
most badass women in a movie ever, in my opinion.
now,
is
who do
Ripley
you
in
think?
Alien.
I agree. Who do you think Sigourney Weaver was up against? The final two people up for the role of Ripley was Sigourney Weaver and one other person.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Cameron
Close.
Diaz.
I don't think she was born yet, but okay.
That was Demon Knight.
Hi,
That
Mia.
was-
Hey, Mia. Meryl Streep.
Seriously?
Meryl Streep. She was up for the role of
What?
Ripley. Yes.
What?
I don't know. Meryl Streep could have still done it, but I'm glad that we ended up with Sojourner.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
That's right. So Meryl Streep was up for Ripley against Sigourney Weaver. And interestingly enough, the two actresses had been in college mates at Yale together.
Oh my
Ultimately,
God.
Weaver got the job, actually because Streep couldn't attend the final callback. She was mourning the death of her then partner at the time of casting.
Yes.
So she couldn't attend the casting, and it went to Weaver. Now, you saying something, Mike?
Okay, so I'm a big fan of Alien. Like, I am a huge nerd of Alien. This is your time, but I just want to say I know certain things about this film. Like the chest burster scene, they knew about it, but they didn't know what was gonna happen.
Yes.
So like their reactions was all authentic. The people when they were returning back to the spacecraft and you see like that little silhouette, there's actually children in the spacesuits to make the world seem bigger. That shot when we first watched the trailer to kind of make it seem like it's the moon, but it's the alien egg, and then they take the light from the thing. Like, I love this movie and this franchise. Obviously, Alien 3, I don't know what they were doing all the way to
I don't know.
Alien 3, forget it. It started going down the hill after that.
Yeah.
But they kind of redeemed themselves with Prometheus 2, and if you ever play the game Alien Isolation, which deals with her daughter. Yeah, so like, I can't wait till they make that a movie and continue the universe. Oh, please.
Alien Isolation. We did that here a couple of weeks ago, and that is like my favorite game I've played so far.
Thank you, Annabelle.
It's so good.
Thank you.
And I did, Mia. I have to tell you, I loved Alien versus Predator.
Oh, me too.
I really did. I loved it. I loved it. You know what I loved about it was actually seeing someone that looked like me being the hero in that movie. And it was a phenomenal movie, in my opinion. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I thought it was fantastic.
I loved it. When I saw it,
good.
I thought it was great. I was entertained from beginning to end. I didn't know what was going to go on, and I thought they did an amazing job.
I thought it was okay, only because I read the books for it, and the books are amazing. So, not to say that it was a bad movie. I'm just saying I just had a higher bar to compare it to. It's still a great movie nonetheless.
I will say too that, of course, I saw this movie when it came out in the movie theaters. I remember going to see it with my sister and her then at that time her boyfriend. My mother had just seen it. My mother and my stepdad had just seen it, and they were raving about it, but they would not tell us about the scene, the chest scene. They were like, so that our response was we were horrified when I'd never seen anything like that before in my life. Never.
That's right. Veronica Cartwright, who's one of the actresses that was in this, her reaction was totally genuine. She was absolutely horrified.
Yep.
And interestingly enough, Veronica Cartwright also, she plays like she's like the blonde woman in this movie. She actually was one of the kids running in the Birds.
Yes. She was the daughter. She was the little girl that was in the house with Tippi Hedren. Yes, amazing. The Cartwrights have a very long career in Hollywood.
Right.
And her sister used to play Penny on the original Lost in Space, one of my favorite shows while I was growing up.
Wow. And by the way, the other child, one of the other children that were running from the Birds was Doodles Weaver, who is Sigourney Weaver's uncle.
Wow.
Okay.
So that means that horror runs in the family.
That's right.
I do want to make a comment about this particular scene right here and her cat.
Creasy. Is it Creasy? Creasy? I forgot the name of it. All right, forget it. I'm sorry. I'll find it now.
So the thing about this is at the time, people would say, why would she go back for her cat? Why would she go back for her cat? And this is something that I know about the psyche of women who are extremely strong and are survivors. That was her child. To leave that cat within his own devices, and remember, he was caged at the time. He was in a carrier. He had no defense against that creature. That would have lived with her forever. So I would have done it myself. I would have gone back for my cat. And that made me just change my whole opinion about her as a character in this movie.
I agree. I think this actually built the character into much more of an empathetic character because many pet owners can totally understand what you're feeling. Mm-hmm. I have a couple of, sorry, go ahead, Mike.
I don't know if I go back for Jonesy. But at the same time, I understand and respect it. Last thing I'm going to say, because Augie, you're going to shine, is that the actor who played the xenomorph was over 6 feet. They had to get an actor who was over 6 feet. So that's when you see him unravel, and that's why they take so long. But like, he's so massive. That's it. Yeah. I love this movie. Sorry.
He was doing a lot of those types of. He also did The Predator, and he also did I think Harry and the Hendersons too.
Yeah.
At that time, he passed away, and I don't remember his name, but I believe that's the same gentleman.
Okay.
Absolutely. Now, just a couple of different interesting tidbits. Sigourney Weaver was the last actress to be cast. Part of the audition was shot on the movie sets, which were in the process of being built. She had to rush to her auditions due to traffic, and her flushed appearance helped convince the makers that she would be a good candidate for Ripley. Wow. She was actually up for other roles, not for Ripley, and they thought that she would make a great Ripley after she appeared flush.
Wow.
But Sigourney Weaver has gone on to say that Aliens, the sequel, makes Alien look like a cucumber sandwich.
Yeah. Thank you, Mayhem. That actor who portrayed the alien, also Harry and the Hendersons, and the Predator was Bolaji Bodejo.
Yeah.
That's right. By the way, interesting tidbit, Ridley Scott originally wanted Ripley to be fully nude in the shuttle scene to put her character in even a more vulnerable situation, and also wanted to show the alien getting sexually aroused by her.
Oh, gosh, come on now.
Can you imagine how bad that would have been?
Yeah.
It's a movie Yeah, the movie
And
succeeded
so
by
I
that
was,
not
yeah.
happening.
Exactly.
No,
Now,
no, it
finally,
definitely didn't.
I need to drop this piece on you guys. The movie takes place in 2037, 16 years from now.
I mean,
just got to drop that.
we're still working on the kinks on Earth, so let's not rush things. Let's not rush
I don't
things in
know.
space.
With the formulation of the new Space Force, who knows?
You never know. Is that still a thing?
Yeah, it's still a thing.
Oh, okay. I just wasn't sure if they stopped it. All right. That is the
Thank
Sheroes of the 1970s.
Good
All right.
Sheroes.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
I appreciate that. So
Of course.
I want to just, we were doing a segment of characters that were female hauntings, but because we're running a little bit out of time, I'm just going to present one and we'll just do the next one next week. Okay. For my segment of female hauntings, I wanted to share with you all a couple of segments, and one is from out of the country, is from Japan. And of course, Japanese have some of the most horrific stories when it comes to ghosts and monsters and stuff like that. I mean, they are probably A1 top notch when it comes to horror, as I would say. They are the best in that. So one of the characters that I wanted to talk about from Japanese horror is the slit-mouthed woman. So do you all know about the slit-mouthed woman? Her name in Japanese is Kuchisake Onna.
This is a trope that I recognize, but I don't think I know the specific story of it.
Okay, so the Kuchisake Onna, are known as the cleft-mouthed woman or the slit-mouthed woman, is a malevolent Japanese ghost that dates back to the Heian period, which is 794 to 1185, the last division of classical Japanese history, named after the capital called Heian-kyo, when Buddhism and other influences from China were very high at that time. So it's around the Edo period or whatever. So they said that she covers her mouth with a cloth mask or a fan or a scarf, and she asks unsuspecting lone travelers if she's pretty. And if they answer yes, she will take off the mask to reveal her mutilated face and ask about now. She'll say, "So am I pretty now?" And if they say yes or scream, she gives them the same wound as she has on her face. And if you try to run away, she will simply appear in front of you. And they say that no one walks away, but she follows you home. If you are able to walk away, she follows you home, and she commits brutal murders as a result of that.
So wait, how do you win?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Just say no.
I don't think
I gotta say.
Yeah, you didn't say an option.
Am I pretty?
No.
There is no option for no. There is no option for no. And this is the interesting thing. So who has not said no to her? Or who has said no to her? Because I think your original inclination would be to say, you know, okay, yeah, you're pretty because you see this horrific person coming up to you, basically, and asking you that. What are you going to say? You're faced with a dilemma here. Are you going to be honest in a situation like that?
I need to know because, like, if she, like, you know, I get what you're saying. Like, if she comes up to you with a scarf, you're like, "Oh, you're pretty," and she takes it off, and then you want to be nice, but because I'm being nice, and I say yes, you're gonna kill me or give me the same wound.
Yep.
Trash.
Well, apparently, what happened with her is she approaches a lot of children. A lot of school children have said that they've met the slit-mouthed woman. Now, a lot of them have survived, so maybe I don't know, maybe they don't have a response when she approaches them. But they say that she was a woman who was, yeah, exactly. Do you want to know how I got these scars? Exactly. She apparently was given this slit mouth from her husband. So her husband, I think, accused her of being unfaithful, and he marred her face.
Wow, she is horrifying.
Yeah, definitely horrifying. But she is often depicted in a Japanese lore. But there is actually a table of what happens when you say. So she'll ask you, "Am I pretty?" If you say no, here it is. If you say no, she kills you with scissors. If you say yes, she takes off the mask and asks you about now. If you say no, she cuts you in half. But if you say yes, she slits your mouth so it appears like hers. So there is no getting away from her.
Can you just not answer? Because then I was just like, I'm legally deaf. I'm legally deaf.
And blind. I'm deaf and
Yeah.
blind.
You respond with a question. Am
You
I
respond,
pretty?
Am I pretty? That's exactly what you do.
Mm.
Yes, that's when you respond with a question. And I think that that's what it is. I think that you have to outsmart her. Yes. Yeah, I think it is a curse. And I think a lot of Japanese horror is tied into curses. So definitely.
Wow.
Very
I'm glad-
scary to think about that. But she's been depicted a lot in Japanese lore and in movies and in anime, you know. And here's where these little kids are saying, I ran into a woman and she asked me in a strange voice, am I pretty?
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't know this before I went to Japan.
Yeah. Oh, Japan has a lot of scary stories. A lot of scary stories. All right. Can we do one more real quick?
Heck yeah.
All right, let's do one more. All
Slit
right.
Mouth Lady is not the last one we can deal with. We can't end the show that way.
We can't end with that one and still be scared. All right. So the next one that I'm going to present to you actually comes out of Chicago, believe it or not. And this is based on a true story. The story is of Resurrection Mary. Have you ever heard about Resurrection Mary?
No. I've heard of Bloody Mary.
Yeah, is that like Bloody Mary?
Yeah.
No, it's not Bloody Mary. So there is a cemetery in Chicago called Resurrection Cemetery. It actually does exist. And the story is that there are people that drive past the cemetery and see this woman in a white party outfit, like she's going somewhere, but it's dated. It looks 1920-ish. She looks like she's gone to a party in the 1920s. So she asked for a ride home. And literally, when you give her a ride, she disappears in the car. Now, there is an incident where a gentleman actually met this woman, and they talk about it on, there's an Unsolved Mysteries about this one. So what happened was, yes, an unsolved mystery about this man who actually had an encounter with this woman. This gentleman right here that we have in this picture is, what is his name? His name is Mr. Paulus. His name is Jerry Paulus, and he was a cab driver. And in 1939, he picked up a blonde woman at the front gates of the cemetery, and he was captivated by her and immediately asked her on a date to a local dance hall. He learned her name was Mary and that she lived on the south side of town. And it was time for him to leave. He offered her a ride home, but she asked him to drop her off at the cemetery on Archer Road instead. So he met her at a party. He literally met her at a party. She was there at the party. Oh. She was dancing at the party and everything. He said that she felt cold, that she felt distant, that she looked sad. And he said that when he dropped her, she said to drop him off at the home, at that cemetery. He dropped her off at the home cemetery, and she literally disappeared. Now, the next day, when she talked to them, they had a conversation. She told him where she lived. He went to the house, and the mother said, my daughter died so many years ago.
Wow.
She thought he was playing. He said, I just saw her. She goes, my daughter is dead. So this is really where they came from. This came from this. They believe that it's this woman right here. She was killed after coming from a party. It says girl is killed. So she was killed instantly, and 5 other members of the automobile party were injured. One probably failed last night when the automobile, which was they were riding in, went off the road and into a ditch and overturned at Harlem Avenue and 66th Street near Argo. The name of this dead girl is Anna Norcus. She was 12 years old. So they believe that this is actually who it was.
Her name wasn't Mary.
No, it wasn't Mary. They call her Resurrection. They call her Resurrection Mary, but I don't know. They believe that it's her. Maybe she tells them that. Maybe she's being coy.
Maybe she changed her name after the fact.
Yeah, maybe she did. But they believe that it's actually her that's haunting the cemetery.
I wonder if Anna was buried in that cemetery.
Well, the cemetery is very old, and there are a lot of gravestones there. But many people have seen strange things at Resurrection Cemetery. And to me, even the name alone is scary. You know, Resurrection Cemetery. Who's going to be coming out of there walking out?
No one you want to hang out with.
No, definitely.
Michael Jackson?
No, I don't think he's in Chicago. I don't think he's there. I hear he's still he's at Neverland. I heard that his ghost is still there.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Maybe we could do a story on that.
Let's
so
do
anyway,
it.
that's my segment on female ghosts. I would have loved to have had a movie prepared for you all tonight, but unfortunately I didn't have time to do that. So maybe next week we'll have something. But that's it. Thank you, you all. Thank you, my host. Thank you, Mike. Where can we see you, or where can we find you this week or next week?
In case you don't see me at Resurrection Cemetery calling myself Jack, you can find me at Fear of Mayhem. You can find me at This Week in Pop Culture on Sundays at 8. You can find me on The Take on Wednesdays at 8. Or just here if they invite me back, you know. I'm hoping to get a check as well. You know what I'm saying? Zack Snyder, the Snyder Cut.
The Snyder Cut, yeah,
The
definitely.
Snyder Cut.
So I like that. Do that voiceover, Annabelle. Here, we do the Snyder Cut.
Welcome to the Snyder Cut.
I love it. I love it. We will be saying this for months. And of course, you can see me and Annabelle Augie here with the Tingling Tea. I'm also with Mayhem on Sunday nights with This Week in Pop Culture on Evo Comics. Hello, Hash. And I'm also doing this Saturday with the Bitten Apple TV. And also Into the Fry Zone, where we'll be celebrating my dad's birthday. Go like, subscribe, follow us on Clip Dive Productions here on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch.
And Twitch, that's right.
Yes, and we will see you next week. Same time, same bat channel here on Thursdays at the Tingling Tea, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 7 Central Standard Time, and 5 o'clock Pacific Time, right?
That's right.
I guess. Okay.
I get this wrong. Hey, who knows and everything. Who knows? Good night, Mia. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you next Thursday, everybody. Take care.